Thokozani. Thokozani bazalwane ngiyathemba ukuthi niyaphila. Let me try and do this. Ngiyathemba ukuthi ni-right. Just trying to outside. I want to be outside, so hopefully I'm not going to have like network issues and things like that. I hope you guys can see me. The kids are going crazy in the house, so I'm sharing those. Thokozani bakhehla amadala, Thokozani bazalwane kunina lonke nje ngithi ey'thunyweni ngithi amen. I hope ngiyezwakala. I might have a mosquito problem, but iy'ntabeni zisemgababa. Nganibingelela mina nonke. I've really been sick. So I haven't been able to do much. It's been really, really hard. I had such a bad flu. I did not have COVID. I had a flu. And the flu was really, really bad. So I wasn't able to do much. In fact, I had to take at least a week off from KwaZulu and just recuperate. Yeah, so I've needed time. That's why I think the following day after I did my first live, after I did my first live, so yeah, I couldn't even come back and do the part 2 of the video that I was supposed to do. Yeah, so that's the explanation done. There's a few things that I want to talk about, right? I didn't even get to finish my previous story because wow, the questions came in. But there's a few things I want to talk about. Isonyaga no Musha, and I want us to address this, ne? I want us to address this because I'm such a fun-loving person. But in strict, anybody that knows me, abantu asebe lashiwe kule sigodlo, abantu that have really gone help here, you know, can tell you I'm very strict. I'm very strict because I always say my priority is Lidluzo Hambanalo. My priority is these ancestors that you walk with, and we need to make sure that they are okay. First and foremost, before anything else. So I try to ensure with yonke into engiyenzayo is clean. Yonke into engiyenzayo pushes you forward in terms of spiritual healing. So hence why nje I'm very strict, and these makehla that I work with were people of law. So they were people of precise action. So in anything that they did, they wanted everything to be on the straight and narrow. Ne? Anything that they did had to be on the straight and narrow. Because I work with Amadlozami used to be chiefs before. So that's why I think it's one of the major things. And Shala. And then yeah. So that's why I think it's so important. So so this weekend, Umkido, we have somebody that is graduating, that is gonna be a fully fledged Emakhosini, fully fledged Emakhosini. They are going to do the whole shebang, the whole 9. So it's too much. Um, yeah, so they're going to be fully fledged sangoma, with ishoba labangoma, and that comes from the cow. That's kwamakhosi. I can't comment on umdao. I don't know anything about the initiation, but okay, from the makhosi side, so so we're gonna have a nice cow that's gonna be done. It's gonna be a 4-day process starting tomorrow. So nje, no sleep for 4 days starting tomorrow. So I'm really, really excited. Hence why I think I wanted to do this live and it was so important because I want us to have this conversation. And if anybody ever comes to my skodlo, my ndumba, to get healing, I want you to be reminded of this conversation that we're about to have right now. Ne? I went with Umkulu. We went to go pay for the cow. Well, yeah, so we had to go pay for the cow, go pay for these things that are going to be needed for Umselins, right? Bazalan, on the cow, so a cow was bought, a a sheep was bought for the stunya, sheep was bought, and then goat were bought. Well over money that was spent because the cow loan was almost 16K, so it was almost 16,000 just for the cow, plus sheep, plus the goats, right? So I want you to have an understanding. If the cow is 16K alone, almost 16K alone, and plus these other animals, plus there still needs to be chickens that need to be bought. That means on animals alone, about 30 something K will be spent or has been spent just on the animals on this final stage. Okay? On this final stage, over 30K just on animals, right? For Idlozi, for Isun. Not counting the other animals that were needed through the journey, through the first two steps, which is a ikobongo lentwaso. So there's a normal kobongo, then there's ikobongo lentwaso. Lilintwaso, so the kobongo for the initiation is different from the one for the one that is umhlahlandlela as they call it. It's different. So there's goats slaughtered ekobongweni plus the chickens. There's a goat that is slaughtered emcagweni, the second stage plus chickens. There's goats that is slaughtered plus chickens plus cow in the final stage. So 3 stages of buying animals throughout. Okay, so depending on the pricing of your animals can actually reach a good 40 50K, 50K depending. I'm not sure, I'm ballparking here, so 40 50K just on animals. So there'll be chickens for cleansing, chickens for ilati, when you're doing stuff with sunya as well, and whatever else in between, the chickens that you slaughter in between the stages, like if fanula or this and the other. Just there's animals that are bought when you are initiating. So now we're calculating all of this, and I've found that it's quite offensive to your ancestors when I hear people say that they've initiated, but intwaso yabo kudlalwe ngabo. So to translate to English, you've initiated, but your initiation was shambles. Your initiation was a joke. Your initiation, your gobela didn't do the right things. So now there are things that you need to redo. This thing is such an offense to our ancestors because, and we had this discussion namatwasana eskodlweni. We had this, I think it was a few days ago. And in fact, even my matwases got frustrated. It was like we would be lying and doing an injustice to our ancestors. When we go to certain places and then your Gobela there says, okay, you need to initiate. And then you initiate. There's something you need to understand. You can't dream of your Gobela when you come from Uklola. It does not work like that. You can't go for a consultation, then after the consultation, dream that that person is your Gobela. Does not work like that. You have to go to that person to go consult, knowing that that person is your Gobela. I've never had somebody come here for consultation and didn't know that I was their Gobela. It has never happened, right? So the people that have consulted, knowing that I was their Gobela, they consulted because they were shown that I was their Gobela. You can't come here for a consultation, for example, and then dream of me after saying that I'm your Gobela. There are things that Gobelas do in the Indumbas, and they do a Godwin Zabo, that ensures that you come and you initiate in the Indumbas and initiate in the Godlos. The une meat that people utilize to secure you as an initiate, right? So you can't come here and then after coming here and then say, Uguti, now I've dreamt of you as my Kobela. It does not work like that. Just know that you are being scammed. If you dream of somebody after you have gone there for a consultation, that is a scam. You should not be there. If a Gobela threatens you and says, "Hey, if you don't stay here now, you can't go home. You need to initiate." Know that that's a scam. We need to stop playing with our ancestors by giving them away to people, because ultimately you are giving your ancestors away. You are saying, no, it's fine. Um, go have these people play with you, because there's so much money, Bazalane, that we need to be clear about, that is spent when you are initiating. You spending money, paying for initiation. You spending money, buying your animals and whatever that you are shown to buy during your initiation. You are spending money when you buy food, because where you are, you have to pay for food as well. You contribute to the grocery shopping, so you have to spend money on that as well. You need to contribute to water and lights and all these things, because ultimately you're living there. So you are spending so much on a process in order to heal your ancestors, and you're not even giving it the time of day of truly ensuring that you're going to the right place. One thing that irritates me is when somebody is being shown that they need to initiate you, and then they call me to ask me to confirm that they are my Itwasalam. It does not work like that. I can't confirm that you're my initiate, because it will be like I'm coercing you. You need to feel it in your bones. You need to feel it in your spirit. That's my Kobela. Then you come and initiate. You can't ask me. I've had so many people send me messages. I had a dream like this, like this, like this, and I already know what that dream means. I know all of that. So I asked the person, what do you think that dream means? And they'll say, no, I think they're showing me that you're supposed to be Makobela. Okay, fine. Then what else do you need from me? Because I don't ever want somebody being here as if they are coerced. Because ultimately, you then choose to come here after your ancestors say, I need you to go initiate them. Then you choose to listen to that message, and then you go and you initiate them. But when you want me to confirm, it's almost like when there are problems, because trust and believe, there'll always be problems during an initiation, because there are things that you need to fix. There are things that need to be sorted out. So, and sometimes ancestors take a while to communicate certain things. So I don't want, when there are issues that arise during your initiation, for you to be like, I coerced you. But that's how I function, because I believe that in anything that you do at Lozin, you need to give of yourself so that you can reap the rewards, you can reap the results. But if you're gonna go in half committed, you're gonna go in with questions of why am I even doing this, then I can help you. But when you go in it with the mentality of, okay, I've ngijulelile lento, sengiyicabangile, I've thought it through, I've weighed it in, I need to go in and do this. And then you come and initiate, then indlela yakho iyahlahleka, indlela yakho ikhanya. Your things, um your things what's a word I can use in English, because you guys say I must also speak in English, so I'm trying to balance here. But your things start to show up in the manner that they're supposed to show up in. They start to kind of be filled with light in the manner that the light needs to fill. So you have to walk in it with that level of understanding. Ne? So when you go to a Gobela and they tell you no, but you need to be here, idlozi, liyavela ukuthi no, liyaphakamalana, this needs to happen, that needs to happen. That's when you guys start to get scammed. And then you, even within the initiation, something inside of you keeps saying, I shouldn't be here, I shouldn't be here. Then you don't listen. Then you have problems. Then you initiate throughout, you spend those 3-4 months, because I find those people that initiate 3-4 months are the ones that are scammed the most. You initiate those 3-4 months, then you've paid all this money, you've bought all these animals, you've slaughtered all these animals throughout those 3-4 months, and then you come back and you want to consult with me. The first thing you say, I didn't know. I bazalwane, no, I'm tired. Me, I'm tired of I didn't know. Mina, if you're gonna come here, say to me you need help. Don't say you didn't know. Because trust and believe, when I take people through the process of what happened during the initiation, I'm like, tell me the story of your initiation. Without fail, every single person I've dealt with this particular issue has said, yeah, no, but there were signs there, there were signs there. Why didn't you leave? I didn't think it was it's something I needed to do. You need to, oh, okay, so what do you then expect me to say? Without fail, every single person that has come here and received help has said the very same thing, that there were things that the ancestors were communicating. Shabalala, you are not right. I'm, so, I'm so sorry. Um, yeah, that's what I chose to marry. So ancestors brought us together, and Uklanya is still there. But yeah, um, yeah, without fail, ancestors have shown time and time again that this is not the place, but people stay. And there are basic things that I've educated that now I won't repeat, because I don't want anybody feeling like I'm targeting them. But there are things that don't make sense, that I feel like if you go and you initiate, number one, you can't initiate two things at the same time. We need to be very clear about that. You cannot initiate, for example, you can't initiate Emakhosini and initiate Umdao at the same time. It just doesn't happen. At the same time, like your Gobela is doing this for you and doing that. Because these spirits, they then start to collide. You need to, in the event, ne? Because nothing's guaranteed. In the event that, for example, you have an initiation, Yambo Nkosi, but you also have Umdao, you will do one at a time. Even if your Gobela has done both, they will do the first initiation, that is the one that's calling you to initiate. They will do that one first in order to calm your spirits. And then they'll do the other one. And most likely you'll go to somebody that has done both. Not everybody that, for example, with me, Mina, I initiated Umzao spiritually. I didn't go to a Gobela for it. But my co-initiation is Umakos. If I get a child that needs both sides of me, there's a manner on which I'm going to need to do it, of which it will most likely be what I need to do the co-initiation first, which would be Umakosi. And then from initiating Umakosi, then they'll show me, okay, they need this particular part of it to be done just to appease them Zao spirits. Then I'll do that. in the manner that they'll show me to do it. And then that person will be done with themselves spirits. People mustn't act like we keep, as lozis, all we do, we keep going and initiating and initiating and initiating. And by the way, I don't need anybody coming for me because this is my page, and I'm going to speak on what I've experienced and what I know. What other people are doing is not my concern, but I'm speaking on things that I've had to personally deal with as Godlweni, deal with in my Ndumba, that has caused people's ancestors to be a mess. Then you ask this person, okay, let's see umngoma bakho. If uthwasela umngoma, we need to see umngoma bakho. There are people walking around, initiating things that end up squashing and ucindezela nge-English. Yazini babazi, yazini. So you end up oppressing your ancestors because you're busy initiating things that you have no business initiating. Most things that I found, when you go to Joburg, most people in Joburg that have initiated, they've initiated umzal. Ne? But then when you assess the person's dreams and when you assess the conversation that was being relayed from the ancestor was telling them the ancestor, I see your message there, Coco. But the ancestor was telling them to initiate Emakhosini. There are very distinct things that differentiate Emakhosini versus umzal. Nowadays, you see people wearing imyeko, ne? Umyeko wamakhosi, but they've initiated umzal. And you are sitting there confused. You have people today that are dressed in umakhosi, but they are beaded like umzal. You're like, how you beaded like umzal, but you are dressed like umakhosi. Umwambi wako is owamakhosi. Ishoba lakho, like, I'm just confused. People don't know what they are doing, and they are messing with your ancestors. If you guys allow healers to continue to mess with your ancestors, you then can't cry ukuthi you didn't know what was happening. Everybody needs to be held accountable. We all need to be held accountable. Hence why I'm one that tries to follow the description or the direction of someone's dreams. I try by all means to do that because I want to always be clear on what needs to be done. When there are things that haven't shown themselves in clarity, then I ask the person, okay, use this, Pasha again. Balekela le camera. You Pasha again and ask them what is the right route. I've had people being shown two types of cleanses, but then it has caused the issue of me questioning which is the first one that I need to do for that person. So I asked them, listen, we have your cleanse next week. Because you have dreamt of this and this, I need you to Pasha and ask them which is the first one that you need to do. I try by all means to always utilize somebody's dreams in correlation with what I see as umgoma. You don't have to twasa for you to see somebody's umgoma bakhe, because you are born as sangoma. Ne? And I want us to start understanding this. You are born as sangoma. When you go to initiate, uvusa umngoma bakho, so you are awakening the spirits in full, and you are going there to get your degree. Ne? You go there to get your degree, to get your title of umakhosi or ugogo or umkhulu. That's what you go when you go get. So uvusa umngoma bakho, you feed your ancestors when you initiate, you're feeding them, you are awakening them, and then you are also getting your title of ungu gogubani or ungumkhulu bani or umakhosi. And we must stop calling people by by the wrong title. You don't go call somebody that has a PhD with the same title as somebody that went and did their masters. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Umakhosi is Umakhosi. I am Umakhosi Tandi. Oh, actually, proper way is Makhosi Ndlovu, because you also call somebody by their surname, not by their first name. So Umakhosi Ndlovu. That is my title, because I've initiated Umakhosi. I have earned the title of Umakhosi. I was born as Sangoma, but then I awakened my spirit. I fed my ancestors. I initiated, and then I got my qualification as Umakhosi. There are people that have initiated Ucamagu. Or Ucamagu labo, I think sometimes they call them Amagwini, if I'm not mistaken, but I stand to be corrected, because I'm not fully versed in Ucamagu, you know. So you call Ucamagu Ucamagu. The abambethe zimhlophe. That's their title. That's what they initiated. That's what they went to go fetch. That's what they went to go awaken. Then you have Otogoza, Omzao. Those people went and fetched the title of Ugogo so-and-so or Rumkulu so-and-so. That's the title that they went to go fetch. You can't initiate Umzao and be called Umakhosi. It's offensive to me who initiated Umakhosi. You can't call me Ucamagu, because I never initiated Ucamagu. Because to say Camagu, I think it's sometimes a greeting for Xhosa people. So also we have to work in that understanding. There are things we need to start being clear about, because we have the resources. We have YouTube, we have I've seen TV channels like SABC. We have channels like SABC. We have we have channels like SABC that have showed things regarding ubdlozi, ubungoma. We've had, even on DSTV, there's been shows that have shown things that touch on ubungoma, you know. So we can't say we are ill-informed anymore. We can't hide behind I didn't know or I didn't have information. It's something that's so offensive to the ancestors you work with. Because even when you don't have information, some people, I've had people come here with such clear dreams that tell them, this is how we move, this is what we do, that this is what needs to happen. And what do people do? They go do their own thing. They're off ramp. You tell somebody to go on the M4, they go on the M2 or the N3. And you're like, but why? You know, people need to be clear, because I think now 2022, we are no longer forgiving. You can't be playing with your ancestors, going to here's another thing, and I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna be off YouTube for a while. Ne? I'm gonna go pasha, get my ancestors to exercise and know war is coming. You cannot go initiate kumuntu othwele onezilwane and think that you're not gonna fetch those things. If you go and you initiate from somebody who has ithwalo or has things in the Msamu or the Indumba that is outside of the scope of issues, know that now you're going to go fetch those things. If I see, for example, that you went and you initiated from Makhosi so-and-so or Ukoko so-and-so or Tamaku so-and-so, and they have Amashushu, as I call them, Amashushu or Izlwane or Batwele, however you want to call it, trust and believe, I'm going to know now Utwele. We mustn't play with our ancestors anymore. It's wrong. It's wrong to the core. Do you understand how hard it is for me to even consult 3 people in a day? It's so hard. So when I've consulted, for example, 5, and then I still need to do other lousy work, by the end of the day, by 7 o'clock, I'm dead. Because leli dlozi liyasebenza, leli dlozi liyanyakaza. And when leli dlozi linyakaze, linyakaze kuwe ngaphakathi. So when it's moving inside of you and it's helping you do the dlozi work, by the end of the day you'll be tired. How the hell are you consulting 100 people in a day? Not possible. Not possible. It's not possible. I don't care who says what. I don't care how much somebody will come and try and put quotes here. The truth is, it's not possible to show 100 people. When you have to come into a schedule and you see there are benches and there's catering, because people know Wuti, when you go shola there, you need to be there by 2 a.m. Because it's like always like 100 people, 200 people, and know that akusona idlozi elisebenza lapho. So I don't want somebody going to abantu that abathwele and then coming here and say I didn't know. But I'm telling you now, if you go to a place and you see laphayana kubanjula and there's 100 people there, no akulona idlozi elisebenzayo. No akulona idlozi elisebenza lapho. Know that whatever that person is using, it's outside of the scope of idlozi. Know that. So we must stop playing with our ancestors and thinking that we're gonna keep hiding and keep crying uguti we didn't know things. But we have resources such as YouTube, we have resources such as television shows that show you that there are things that are outside the scope of idlozi that are happening in the world. There are things that are outside the scope of Istunya that are happening in the world. I can even tell you things about Itunya, how Itunya function. There's two types of Itunya. Ne? There's two types of Itunya. There's this Tunya that works hand in hand with Idlus, right? So it's Tunya like mine. Mine, I'm a Sangoma and a Tunya. Know very full well there are also other sangomas that don't have a soon. So don't think that every single sangoma has a soon. No, there's isunya ne that S7s are nedlozi, and then there's isunya that stands alone that only prays that just nje it's isunya. It deals with prophecy. It doesn't deal with umgoma. Ne, I've had people come here telling me that Makhosi impela onodlaba kwezwe. I've had people come here to my schedule and tell me, Gogo, I will consult and I'll be like, hi man. It shows here that you've touched spiritual things that deal with issues. But the ancestors are telling me that I recognize, so now I'm gonna say this in Zulu. Ngiyatshelwa la idlozi ukuthi wena wathinta izimo ezihlangane nedlozi, but liyavela ukuthi lo khamba or lo muthi owawudla awubhalisiwe emadlozini, awuphasisiwe, akuwona umuthi ababusisile ukuthi nansi into esiyidingayo. So in other words, you find people repeating, saying they've had igobongo, but then now when I'm consulting, it shows that they've never had it. I've had actually two other people say to me that they consulted elsewhere, and also where they went, they were told that the gobongo that they had wasn't the thing. It wasn't the gobongo, yabo, that the ancestors wanted. All right. And then when I asked them how is this possible? Who did your gobongo? And how long did you have it? One, most of those people have ikobongo for 7 days, or they'll have it for 14 days. That's the first problem. Second problem, they'll tell me umthandaze or umprofeti did ikobongo lakhe. Ha, njani. How does umthandaze do ikobongo? You can only get something from somebody that has had that thing. So remember how I said there's isithunya elhamselana nedlozi, and then there's isithunya that's on its own. Isithunya elhamselana nedlozi can be somebody like me or isangoma. It can also be somebody or umthandazo wadla igobongo. Usually how you'll recognize these people is they will have like ujazi, right? So they'll have like ujazi that has like ispiga sengwe, or they'll have like isembatho, like some kind of spiritual clothing that will have both a representation of the Sunya side and will have a representation of the Lozi side. Right? That's the easiest way to recognize those people. But yet again, you also need to understand that anybody can buy those things. But I'm just saying, Uguti, for an easy solution, that's the quickest way to recognize those people. So umuntu mefake isembatho esinengwe, like isembatho sakhe siveza ubudlozi nobuthunywa, then azuthi lo muntu ke waludla ukhamba, yabo, usebenzisa isithunywa kodwa waludla ukhamba. All right, so yeah, so going back to what I was saying, so I asked this person, what do you mean umthandazi did igobongo lakho? Well, no, exactly that. I had umdazo prophet do my gobongo. Has that person had igobongo before? The most shocking thing I've ever heard in my life. No, they've never had it. How does somebody, even if you don't know anything, how does somebody give you a degree when they have a diploma? I need you guys to help me make this make sense. How do I, as somebody that has a diploma, give you a degree? How do I, as somebody that has a degree, give you a PhD? It's not possible. I've heard of people being initiated by people that have never initiated. And it doesn't mean that if you've never initiated, like your ancestors can initiate you. That is possible. But that's also a conversation for another day that I won't dive into because that one is too deep, you know. In fact, I might dive into it because I want to. Yeah. My community. I want people that really subscribe to Emakhosini be a part of my community. So I'll be launching not launching, but I'm gonna activate different thingy packages on YouTube. But I'll discuss a little later. So I've heard of people being initiated by batandas. I've heard people telling me balahla ubungoma babo. Bazalwane, ukulahla ubungoma is not possible. It's not possible to do some ritual to shut down initiation. It's not possible. And how I know it's not possible, because I've confirmed it time and time again from people that have tried to do processes to Valumgo. One day this thing comes calling. One day. Mina, I think I've explained, I've initiated twice. So I've had 2 gobelas. So I'll call them Gobela 1 and Gobela 2. Gobela 1's husband, washa we stroke, eshawayini, idlozi, because he had done some dodgy process years ago, when he was still young, to shut down his initiation. So ubesebenza ngobuthandazi. Njengoba besebenza ngobuthandazi, they let him work for years. Then he's like 60 something, 70. Idlozi came knocking saying, "Daughter, where's our kamba? Luphu kamba lethu. Kuphi ukuthi yiphi ishoba lomngoma?" Because Makhosi. So liphi ishoba? Ishoba is what you get when you've slaughtered your cow. And how do you slaughter your cow? By graduating. Bamshaya ngestroke. By the time I left that in Dumba or Lesa Skodlo saying Pumil, still being helped, they were still trying to heal him from his stroke. So nothing he could do could fix that except initiating. But now it's like they won't rock up the way they're supposed to rock up, because now you didn't do what you were supposed to do at the time they needed you to do it. I had a Twasa come here once that had a famous healer that I won't mention. Apo. That had a famous healer that I won't mention, Evalum Gomabak, right? So, to Valum Goma, this thing ended up being tattoos on that person. And still it ended up here initiating. But now the Dlozi is on showing up the way they're supposed to show up for that person because of the process that ayenza ukuvala umngoma bakhe. So now you do things to oppress your ancestors, and then eventually when you're like, you know what, excuse my swearing because I'm gonna swear a little bit. You like fuck it, because clearly this thing's not working. Now they don't want to show up for you. They've put you into aso, they're not showing up the way they would have showed up if you had done the right thing. I've confirmed time and time and time again that ayikho into ekuthiwa ukulahla idlozi. Idlozi alilahleki because you are born with it. We must stop acting like this thing is a possession. By the time you are formulated in your mother's womb, there's idlozi elikuphelezelayo. Elithi, I'm going to protect this child. I'm going to see this child through. I'm going to ensure that this child grows to know one day that our journey is taking us there. Hence why umuntu that has idlozi, you see them from childhood. There's no such thing as there was nothing that showed that you were gonna be a sangoma. No way. Everybody has a story from when they were younger with things that are showing that no, this person was gonna initiate. But I think we don't wanna put attention to it. I remember my mom used to sing Ginenyongo. Every time I'd see things, she'd be like, when Ginenyongo. Or when I'd see people doing weird things, that's because you don't like these people. And it wasn't like that. So we need to stop. And I say we because I'm with you guys. Like I genuinely feel your pain when you are spiritually sick and everybody's acting like you're crazy and you know that you need help. So you end up going to a traditional healer, but you don't know much about what it is. This thing is called traditional healing. But when you have sisters that speak upon your life, that do things to show you, we need to go this way, we need to go left, we need to go right, we need to go straight, we need to go up, we need to go down. When you have ancestors that speak and you take them and you throw them to the wolves, and then you expect then you expect me to understand. I think last week I started by telling a story. Let me just quickly read this thing, then I'll go. Thokozani Makhosi, what if you forget your dreams and only remember them really? Then you need to work on your healing, Gogo. You need to work on your healing. I find that ukufutha, ne? Ukufutha or ukugquma, however you call it, or steaming, however you call it. When you futa with a washo, it tends to help clear up your dreams more, right? Because you can even sometimes, I remember I had somebody tell me that when efuta ngewasho zami, mefuta ngewasho zami, or when they steam with my iwasho, or megquma ngewasho zami, that as they are steaming, the dream starts to come back. So you can, so you can also do that, and it tends to help a lot because especially when you're gonna do it before you go to sleep, it's literally the most powerful at that time because that's when you need anything that's gonna oppress you. Yeah, so I can speak up on your life. Sorry, I cut there for a second. And I'm launching my website. I think it should be fine in a week. That's gonna have the products. Nyama. Yeah, pusha. Yeah, but we have the combos. I'll have the combos up there. So a combo is Trito, people that are struggling with having children, struggling with a inkonzo yasekamereni, so struggling with intimacy and sex and things like that. If you're struggling, I'll have things for men, I'll have things for women, I'll have things for people that need that are trying to have children, so that it's just easier. You guys can order, because I know sometimes people are uncomfortable to just ask, especially men. I found that you guys struggle the most with asking that this is what you need. So I'm gonna have the items there. I'm gonna have it in combos. So the treatment in combos, and I'm gonna have them. I'm gonna have loose items. Which okay, this is for sex. Men that need items for sex, women that need items for sex, things like that that help with intimacy, and men that have had things done to their private areas by other people, that has affected you. So I'm gonna have things that are up there for that. For women that have womb issues, or uterus issues, like isibeletho sakho mesihlupha, I'm gonna have things there as well that you guys can just order online, and then we just send, because I deal with so many combos from my consultation that it's becoming difficult to track. So I need you, it's easier if you order there, because then the information just comes directly, and then I just deal with the paperwork. All right, so I'm gonna have that on the website, but you can for now order it on my WhatsApp. My WhatsApp's 081 548 4108. So you can WhatsApp me and order the stuff as well for now, while we finish off the website. The website will be makhositandi.co.za. Okay, so let me answer your other question. Thokoza gogo, cela ukubuza, mawuphupha unikeza ukhokho wakho imali engamaphepha ebewu-30 randi kanye namarandi amabili, kodwa wabuye wangibuyisela amarandi, ngabe uchazani? Okay, uthi ngenzeka ukuthi kuvele mhlambe khona umuntu ozama ukuthatha imali yakhe ayisebenzi, so yena wayihlambulula. Khona umuntu kusho ukuthi wazama ukuthatha imali yakho ukuyisebenza, yena-ke lo khokho useyithatha, useyihlambulula, useyibuyisela back kuwena, isigezekile, isisusiwe lento ewubumnyama, ukuthi sangathi ungabe umuntu ophelelwe imali. That's what that means. Okay. Marcos, what is your view on smoking weed as a gifted child? Does it affect your gift in any way? Oh, la. Smoke your weed. Smoke your weed. Because a lot of people don't actually understand this, but idlozi, kunamadlozi that actually love weed. I actually have a spiritual child, nginethwasa that idlozi loves weed, and it actually amplifies her senses. So yeah, smoke your weed, bhema into yakho, because weed does the same thing that it does for a person that smokes snuff. By the way, bazalwane, angangish, my husband, Shabalala, say hi. You weren't saying hi. You were singing a dodgy Varas My Cop nonsense. Okay, anyway, so Shabalala Ugaya Ugwai, he actually guyas it for Amatwasa as well. So Ugaya Ugwai, ne? So the snuff, the real one, not the one that has been diluted many times, has been sitting there for months in these shops. He does the real one. The one that, that I lalel that thing's got a warrant. It will waken your ancestors like it's no one's business. So he does like a snuff. So into people call it differently. Into is snuff, ukwayi wesulu, however you call it, but he guides it. Ne? I've actually had people that have come here, that have come here for healing. If they spend like 2-3 days, then they get to taste it, and they realize they weren't having proper ugwai. This is proper ugwai. Yeah. So if you guys want that, please do WhatsApp me. Then I can just ngin hook it up in it, so nikwazi ukuthi niyithole. I'll give you guys the prices on WhatsApp. Yeah, I'll give you prices on check. All right, so yeah, smoke your weed, but smoke your weed. It's not a problem. Anyway, Thokoza Gogo, what is the meaning of pooping komo? Zibochwe. What is the meaning pooping komo? I'm trying to read it. Zibochwe ebuhlanti, then zikhulekele zibaleke. Shabalala, I think this is Xhosa. Uthini? Okay. I don't know if ugogo rumkhulu, but Upeti Biko. Okay, so Peti Biko, I think ugogo ne. So gogo, what does the meaning uphupe inkomo zibochwe ebuhlanti, then zikhululeke zibaleke. Ne? So kukhona, so kunento kushuthi ebophe abadala, your ancestors. Khona into ebophe abadala bakini. So I think they're actually waiting ukukhululeka ukuthi ziqaqiwe, and I think wherever they were, they want to be released. Khona bezokwazi ukuthi babaleke. Khona umuntu kushuthi, and most likely it's somebody from the family ozama ukubophela amathongo ekhaya kuze asebenzele yena. And njengoba afuna ukuthi asebenzele yena, bafuna ukukhululwa. Mhla bakhululwa bayombalekela lowo muntu. In fact, bayombalekela to the point where kuyobe ngathi uthakathiwe. Kanti no, ibona. Because if you've been shown where to initiate, but you're not 100% sure and would like further confirmation, can Idlozi punish you for waiting, delaying, and not acting? Like how I was saying, Batsalan, if you've been shown where to go, where to initiate, because you also need to understand, there are two places sometimes you are shown. Sometimes you are shown where to go initiate, but sometimes you are shown where to go get healing. And then when you get done getting healing, they show you where to initiate. So, and sometimes they'll show you where you're going to get healing and where you're going to get initiate. So the person that heals you can be the person that is going to initiate you, or they show you the person that's just going to heal you, or they show you the person that's going to just initiate you. I hope I've made sense. So you need to feel it within you whether that person's your gobela or not. So like go there for a consultation. While you are consulting, you're gonna feel whether that person is your gobela or not. And it's a feeling I can't describe. But it's such a hectic connection. I can't describe it. You'll know for yourself. I feel as though I connect to my supreme team better when I'm high. My grants just taught me how Gaia is enough. Iyangi Kela, do I Iyangi Kela though? I can't. I Shaba check hunger. One mosquito. Yeah. Nope. Oh, rather I move. Okay. I feel as though I connect to my supreme team better when I'm high. My grants just taught me how to Gaia is enough. Though. Okay. I can't smoke it. I know it's hard, but I think it's easier when you get in of leaving initiation of particular spirits incomplete. Okay. Yeah, this thing is a problem. When you go through initiation and you ushia unga danga, that thing is a major issue because you're walking around with Inzila. You have awakened your spirits. You have told them ukuthi wazani mathonga usanihlale sosebenza manje. You've told them, listen, we are doing the things now. We are doing what we are meant to do in life, and then you just leave them like that. And I've had people, that thing doesn't end well. Don't liking abaqalekisi. I'm a firm believer. There are people abashayeka uthola ukuthi 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 years later, some people 10 years later. And masebe oh, no healer can heal that issue. No healer. You can finish your money, uhambe untanta healer, thinking they can help you. And they'll say, oh no, come, I'll help you, I'll do this. You can't heal that thing, because you're the person that brought it upon yourself. Because even if you leaving one gobela, at least go and complete your journey elsewhere. If you no longer want to be there. Because Nami, I'm a firm believer. I'm like, I tell my initiates all the time, if usuhlolo umthetho, I mean the doors are open. I don't even have a gate like hi. So I'm like, I don't even have a gate. You are welcome to leave. Go. Because at the end of the day, I don't want somebody here that doesn't want to be here. I don't want to be putting in my efforts, getting sick, things happen to me, getting spiritual attacks, for on behalf of Itwasa, and that Twasa isn't even playing their part, isn't even participating. They're not even interested. I don't want that. So I don't even have time to play. So I'm a firm believer with, at least if you, wherever you go, leave to go somewhere else where you will get assistance, where things will happen, you know. And don't leave a good place because it's strict just to go do some shit here 3 months from another gobela who's gonna be like, ah no, you can yabo, you can eat pork while you're initiating, can have sex while you're initiating. Hey, I've had things. There was an initiate I had that I kept dreaming of her having sex with her husband. And every time I asked her, she was like, I know, I'm not doing that. I don't know what you're talking about. And I'd have a dream. The Rosies would tell me, I know she's not working. She's not doing this. She's not doing that. And they kept denying and denying. And I'm just like, myself, I cleansed my child that was here. I cleansed her, and I cleansed this godlo. I cleansed, no Shabalala cleansed, we all cleansed, and yeah, Sakuba and a life, Zapop. But all I know is, and somebody told me, Guti, hey, now that person's a Gobela. I'm like, yo, Gobela, when you left in initiation like 2 months ago, because I think Washel about November. This person left here on November, but now we profile yakhe. Um, that person she has a sign. She has thingy that says Gobela. Gobela ini when you left uphehlo and you left it not cleansed. You left into zakho ungazenzanga. Shidodwa. Nyabana abantu abadlala ngani. Hence why I'm just like, if you guys want to confirm somebody that comes from my impande, I'll confirm. Don't have time. People that don't do things that are right. Anyway, moving on. Makhosi ngiphuphe obe ugobela wami ekhipha imali esikhwameni sami athi anginike lezi ngane abehamba nazo, wase yahamba wathi yobulala umntwana. Ngamkhuza wangangilalela wathi usayomfumana. Yo, I don't think you need to be asking me that thing. I think that the thing you're asking me about is very clear. It's very clear. Leyo nto lo mbuzo nje khehla lami ongibuza wona uclear nje umile. Iphupho liyasichaza ukuthi ugobela wakho ugangile. Ungangifaki ke. Ungangifaki ngoba ugobela wakho ugangile.
Number one, say the person's name, answering the question.
I can't say the person's name. Uyayizwa lento ayishoyo kumina.
Oh, okay.
Oy. Shabala lile drink lesiphuzo sakho lesi sixakile manje.
See the sauce.
Makhosi ngangingalele kodwa kwavele kwafika intshongwana ngihleli kwavele ikhehla langinika isibhamu ngaphaphama just took me 3 minutes ukubona leyo nto. Buvezelwe isithunywa. Isithunywa was showing you. How did I know I was ready to be a gobela? You don't get ready to be a gobela. Yeah, I think we need to be clear on this. You don't get ready to twasa, you don't get ready to be a kobela. You just shoved in that position, just like you are just shoved into an initiation. You're just shoved into that position, and you need to rise to the occasion. You know, um, understanding I am the mother to grown people. You know, that have their own personalities, that have um their own way of living life and doing things. So I think um I think we need to be clear that you don't get ready for such things. You don't get ready for anything when it comes to idlozi. It just happens, you know. But you need to build, as I say, build umgogodlo. You need to qinisa umgogodlo. You know, so basically strengthen your spine and just go about your business and do what you need to do for idlozi lakho.
Have a backbone,
Have a backbone.
so to speak.
Yeah, so to speak. Have a backbone. Edlozini kudingala i-backbone because uzophela. Izinto ey'hlangene nedlozi ziyanyisa. As you can see, as you heard, Shabalala is drinking now because he's stressed out, you know. Um, izinto ey'hlangene nedlozi, it's hectic. So because it's hectic, it needs you to have a backbone and to understand that you are there to complete what you are called to do and then do what you need to do for your people. We need to stop acting like we need to be best friends. I feel like if we have a relationship at Lozin, I have a great relationship with my current kids. My current kids at Lozini are amazing. We have our issues on certain days, but we always get through them. The love runs deep there. So inganzami ngiyazithanda right, you know. But we sometimes have our own issues. You'll find these things ezenzeka edlozini quite daunting, and quite hectic. Um,
Ngibona ucebe khulu lapho Thembi.
oh Shabalala, where are you now? Why are you looking at my things?
Sisonke mos.
Oh
We're
Shabalala,
together in
ungathi
this.
uyahlupha nje now. Makosi, so the next place to complete the process its generally shown will be guided by your own ancestors. It depends. Like how I said, sometimes at Lozini, the person that heals you will also be your spiritual guide, or your spiritual parent. Sometimes the person that is your gobela is not necessarily going to be the person that heals you. Sometimes the person that is going to heal you is not your gobela. So I think you just need to really learn how to listen to the ancestors that you work with. I know some people ask me about lokwai. They said they need lokwai. I know if you need ngithinte. Eh, Shabal, you're gonna be going. You're gonna be a new batch. Um, uh, ain't win, ain't win.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be making a new batch.
3 days of next week ngiphele nenyama.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll be making a new batch soon. So yeah, just WhatsApp me. Ngiphindela okugcina 081 548 4108. WhatsApp me. I'll ngizonihooka up. I'll get you guys the prices of the different sizes. I but trust. I was Obama and kuyokhala nina niyothi angeke Makhosi. I'm seeing my ancestors live. That thing will make you see your ancestors live. Because it's proper. I think Leon Duguti, we were so lazy to do it for so long. So we kept buying. But then we ended up having a problem in terms of getting the particular one that we were forced to just make. Sometimes Idlos will put you in a corner so that you can just do what it needs you to do instead of trying to make life easier for yourself. Yeah. But I think Sissy clear. Sissy clear on what needs to happen. Sissy clear on understanding that funda ukuzilalela, funda ukulalela idlozi lakho, funda ukuzizwa. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it. It's just that simple. That's the best way to explain. If something doesn't click for you, don't do it. If somebody tries to scare you into doing something, that's a problem. You know, you all are not gonna get healing from me. But wherever you guys get the healing, at least be clear in your direction, and then stop going to abantu abatwele. You know, stop. You know what? Another thing, and don't I? You guys like flashy things. You see somebody with 4, 5 cars, and then you're like, yeah, idlozi. Sometimes it's not idlozi. Sometimes, yes, it is. I'm not going to take that away. Khona amadlozi aphopayo out here. Khona amadlozi aphopayo, you know, that show off and show up and show out. But for most people, yilwane, ukuthwala. People can't tell you ukuthi hayi lesithwalo si-right sisebenza nedlozi. Idlozi fanele sisebenze njengedlozi. If you personally want to go fetch isithwalo, then let it be your personal choice. Angilwi. Umuntu ofuna ukuthwala akathwale angeni vele. I don't live with you. I'm not a part of your family. I'm not a part of your lineage. So whatever you want to do, go do. You know, I consulted one child once, and this girl kwavela while I was consulting. I'm like, I man, I can see that, you know, ekhaya kunesithwalo, and washo wathi yes sikhona nakho ngifuna ukuvuka umoya. Washo ukuthi usikhona isithwalo, and the reason why I'm probably saying it is because bafuna ukusinika yena, you know. Ngathi mina, hey, lalela, don't involve me in your family business. Angeni, it's not my department, so I'm not gonna paula. Everything is your choice. Whatever you choose to do it. Angingen. But all I can say is everything comes to pass. These things that you guys go fetch, they knock. They come knocking, asking for things that umuntu. It first starts small. I slaughter one chicken there. Then it's like, oh, slaughter one goat there. Then it's slaughter one cow. Then it's like we want people. Some of them they end up not they end up wanting for every girl that you end up with. ukuthi kube leso silwane esilala nalowo kid. There are people today that can't get married, can't have relationships because bahlushwa iy'thwalo zasekhaya. So don't go fetch things without a proper understanding of them. You know, sure.
I have a question for you.
Hmm?
I have a question for you.
Yeah. Right. Can someone
Yeah.
can someone othwetshulwe thwetshuliwe oshonile be cleansed and made idlozi elihle? Depends on the depth of ukuthwetshulwa, you know. It depends on uthwetshulwa kanjani. Yeah, a lot goes into that. It depends. Khona abantu bazalwane, we mustn't take it away from them. Khona abantu abanomuthi they did is that powerful. Dark magic ixaka ngisho usathane naye azibuza ukuthi hey man, these kids, where are they getting these things, you know? Yeah, so it would depend on how deeply rooted that thing is, how old it is. Nokuthi iyamiswa kanjani. What did they get that is DNA from lower thwetshulwa? Okay. Thokoza Gogo, if you see dark and white shadows, what does that mean? Ubani ithunzi. What do you mean? You see dark and white shadows, ubani ithunzi. Sibonga ukuba khona kwakho umakhosi and teaching us. Aw, ngiyaphakama nje ngithi hey, ngiyazama nami. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you look at it, I work with people that are really on the straight and narrow. I don't have time for shit, Bazwalone. I really don't. I'm someone that will open all that I am to you. But if you're gonna do nonsense, I honestly don't have the patience and I don't have the time. So I think I don't have the patience, I don't have the time. I want people that come here for healing to be committed. I want people that come here for healing to know that abantu abafika la ukuthi bazothola usizo, bazi ukuthi if you want proper healing, there's no 2 minute noodle situation. Depending on how deeply rooted your problem is, it can take a month, it can take 3 months, It can take 6 months, it can take a year. But you guys are so used to having people telling you, I know we can fix this now. I will go to the water, do a cleanse, is obviously right. Then you come here and and it's this problem that is pushing you to come here. Then I ask you, how was this thing done if namanje savela? If namanje kusacaca ukuthi it's like these cleanses that okay, there you go. You need to understand this going forward as well. If you have aborted a child, that cleanse is not the same as a cleanse of a miscarried child. A miscarried child is a child that was naturally umphefumulo wahamba ingane eyazishonela. Ingane that you chose, and you're not judging anybody. Ingane okhethile ukuyibulala. That's how it reflects edlozini. That's why I'm always having to tell somebody before I consult with them ukuthi you need to understand spiritually versus as we live. I'm one that understands there's a lot of cases that put people in certain positions to do things. But when you're looking at things spiritually, they are very black and white. So when I hlola, then I'm now having to say to you, listen, kuvela la ukuthi wabulala umntwana, and it's harsh, but it's how it is reflecting. Then I have to tell you, listen, it's fixable. We just have to do it this way. And you apologize and you do things kube right. I've never anybody that I've ever cleansed when it comes to abortions has never said it didn't work, because they without fail kuzoba namaphupho, dreams will come, the child will come and say ngiyabonga, or the child will come and play with you, or the child will come and embrace you, saying what they accept your apology, and now you guys are gonna become a unit again. Because you also need to understand a child's spirit is very powerful, because that child belongs to you, that child comes from you, so that child will ensure ukuthi into zakho ziyakhanya. Even when the elders are mad at you and they are angry for whatever, but their child will come through reflecting like that ukuthi umntwana wambulala, as it says spiritually, you know. Then what you do is you need to cleanse a child a certain way. The child, you need to do iladi for them, so that leyo ngane iba nomphako masihamba iya kwabadala. This thing of going to the river and just cleansing and it's done, it's not enough. So you also need to look at those cleanses, they are wasting your money. A cleanse is a two-part process. Makshoniwe. So a simple thing, whether if you've miscarried or if you've had somebody die in the family, those cleanses are the same. Nyakezwa, maqeda ugezwa kwenziwa iladi, ne? So it's a two-part process. Ugeza inzila, as they call it. Then there's the abortion. So that one is a little bit more hectic. So I think you guys need to go into things with that understanding, because you guys go to healers and you'll say, hi, but everybody keeps saying the same thing. Gandhi, how many times do I have to cleanse this thing so that it can be fine? You know? Because what do ringing ears mean? And also what does it mean when you have recurring dreams of your teeth falling out, Marcos? Okay, Marcos, what is ringing ears? It's usually just somebody is trying to talk to you, ne? And in Vamisa, when you haven't done things, then unfortunately you're not going to be able to understand what that person's trying to say. And also, okay, and what does it mean when you have a recurring dream? Hey, this teeth thing is serious. We all have a teeth problem when it comes to ancestors. We all have a teeth problem. I can't really say when it comes to your teeth falling out, because it can be for different reasons. Yeah, it can be for different reasons. So I'd have to understand the context of the dream so that I can help you through it. Yeah, and forgive me, Bazalwane. My honesty is very rough sometimes. I had one Twasa complain, be like, hi, but Ma, you need to find a better way to put something, you know. I had a consultation once, and I had to tell the person, hey, there's a granny ancestor that's coming through that's saying, I must tell you, you must stop being for the streets. Fanele kukufeba, you know. And it was very hard for me to say, but I had to say it because that's how they wanted to say it. um they wanted it said that way, so I needed to say it like that. So nje, I don't. Yeah, 2022 bazalwane, I would love for us sonke sinyathele ngendlela ehlukene. Let's start moving differently now. Let's start understanding everything that we do, and also stop wanting easy solutions when it comes to uh amadlozi ethu. Yeah, I think that's the best way to say it. Hayi ngeke ungibingelela kanjalo. Mangiqeda ngiyasa lapha. Ngiyasa ngeke ungibingelela kanjalo. Okay. Yeah. So that's where it stand. Bazalwane, I'm hungry now. Yeah, I'm hungry. So I'm gonna go. Um oh wait. I think I need to finish the story, then I'll go. Eh, do I have to? No, I don't. No, I don't. But I think the point of the story that I was gonna have, ne, from the story that I was explaining from last week, I had an initiature, engasiza live ukuthi bavuke kabusha amadlozi abo. Eh, that initiates after I helped her, did things that I think just left me at loss for words. Um, when it comes to idlozi. And I think it needed to happen to teach me the lesson of sometimes spiritual adoption is not right, you know. Because this Swasa loves going to healers, you know, and more muntu wedlozi, you mustn't love constantly going and consulting here, consulting there, consulting there. Like you can't be going to 7, 8, 9, 10 healers all the time. Whenever you hear that there's a healer that's really good, then you go there. But unelidlozi, like it doesn't work like that. Um so I think what bothered me the most about this person is that in everything they did, the person, because wafika la nethwasa, you know, um everything that the person did, you know, is was gonna affect ithwasa lakhe, and ithwasa lakhe lalimpilela. And I think I find it so harsh when people, you give them all that you are, and you assist them in every manner possible, because niphila together edluzini, and that person leaves you. And I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about ithwasana lakhe, you know, leaves you in a spiritual mess, and you don't even know it until it's too late. You don't even know it until it's too late. And I think moving forward, I think it just taught me, Uguti, if I feel that a person is no longer deserving of my help, I think I'm going to stand firm in no longer helping. I think I say this a lot to you guys. Mina, I've turned people away, and I'll continue to turn people away if I feel like you don't want real healing. You want that microwave fast 2 minute noodle type of healing. Anybody that comes under Isgodlo Sako Kajeni, I need them to truly want to be clean of things and clear from, you know, being spiritually sick. Because the worst part about being spiritually sick or is that It doesn't make sense. It's not something you can go to a doctor or go to somebody and say, this is what's bothering me. It's something that just, it only makes sense to you. And when it starts to get really, really bad, it starts to even make you seem like you're crazy. So I honestly want people, Mina, in 2022, that even when we do these family meetings on my page, you're not comparing me, you're not asking me about that healer, that healer. I honestly don't care about other healers. It's not my concern. um Whatever that they do is not my concern. If it doesn't affect me, anginandaba. But I will speak on things, especially like itwalo. I'm one that hates into ehlangane nesithwalo, because I know how it can oppress your ancestor. And I know that these people don't give you the full terms and conditions, and then they leave you at a mess, and now you are left picking up the pieces, you know. So I will try by all means to educate you guys. Uthi, don't all that glitters is not gold. Ningabuka ubucwebe, ningabuka ubukhazikhazi and think ukuthi umsebenzi wedlozi. Sometimes you need to have questions ukuthi, how is that and that and that possible? You know, how does idlozi do it in that in a period of 2 weeks? How does somebody spend 200,000 in a day like it's nothing, like they didn't earn it? You know, people that have earned money, and I know very rich people, when they've earned that money, they don't spend it like abanangondo. They spend it like a person that has earned that money. Yabo. So anahambe emva kwami nonke nje nihambe nikleklelela. Ngiyayibalekela le camera. Andifuni ukuvela ngebhadi. You know. So yeah. So I swear if one more person ahamba phambi kwala camera, nonke nje nonke niyadlula nidlula la bonke babalekela. Bazalwane, I don't know what you did to my kids, but they don't want to be in front of this camera. But all that glitters is not gold. So please take care of your ancestors. Ensure Guti, you don't just do things, you know, in the name of wanting to be rich, wanting all your financial issues to be fixed, but doing because you genuinely want healing, and everything else will come. Ancestors are not stupid. Ancestors don't like poverty. Bazon kanyisela in the manner that you find kanyisela. And know that what you invest in your rosi is what you'll get back. If you invest nothing, you can't expect your rosi to make you a millionaire. But if you invest all that you are, Idlako will come through for you. Guys, I come from extreme poverty. I was extremely poor. But I'm doing so well for myself. Ngegama ledlozi. So we mustn't act like amadlozi athanda ukuba poor or athanda poverty. Yabo. And mina ngiphuphile. You know when people try to act like, oh, idlozi that doesn't wear makeup, doesn't, hey, bazalwane, I walk barefoot. I'm always barefoot, you know. But I'm poopy. Trust and believe the bank balance is very positive. But it's not for me to prove that. I just prefer Uguti. I need to do what my ancestors show me and want me to do, even if it makes me look like Ingislima. Till this day, I have heels here. Even if you guys want them, you must tell me. I'll send them. I have heels here that I don't wear, that I haven't worn in years, because my Josie refuses to wear shoes. And I'm okay with that. I made peace with that. I did for my clothing collection, and somebody posted here that my clothing collection is very nice. Thank you so much. I do like nice things. That's all. What's up? That's all. I can get you. Oh. So look at you. But yeah. So yeah. So I like nice things. I like pretty things. So my clothing, yeah, my clothing collection is very nice. Yeah. So I like to dress up when I can. Um, but the truth is, nje idlozi ngifuna kwamabhayi. Hayi bo gogo. Kancane nje. Hayo. Ayana peace yezwa. Ayana peace. Wow. Yeah. So yeah. idlozi liyayithanda into ezinhle. But it doesn't mean for you to prove that your dlozi shows up for you, it shows out for you, and that it's a poverty dlozi, that you need to put makeup if your dlozi doesn't like makeup. I've had people come here wearing jeans. And when I ask them about these jeans, they're like, yeah, but my work or my this. But don't force your ancestors to wear things that they don't want to wear. Zovele ngiyiphendule mina le camp. Yabo. Yeah. You know, so yeah, so it don't force your dlozis to fit in when they are meant to stand out. They are meant to be, you know, they are meant ukuthi baphakame baqhakaze in their own light and not in the light of umhlaba. So don't push them in that corner. Anyway, bekumnandi ukuba nani. As I said, I'm hungry and I'm fluey. We shall chat. Sizobonana soon. Sizoshaya lama family meeting. While I prepare. Kuzoba late this weekend. Oh, amadlozi azobagida. So I'll see you guys soon. Ngicabanga ukuthi sengiphelile nama-question. Sibonge Emakhosini, sibonge kuno nonke nje that are dedicated. Oh, before I go, I'm so sorry. Ngicishe ngakhohlwa ne. All right. So I'm gonna have this community on here where if you guys honestly love me, you'll support my channel. I need all you guys that I see the views. If you guys love my content genuinely, subscribe and subscribe bani. That's the first thing. Second thing is I'm gonna have yeah, ngizoba namalona la that on YouTube where paid subscriptions for the community, and I'm gonna have different packages for those subscriptions. And then singaba even nama private chats. So those that wanna ask like amaphupho kahle, ngizoyihlela iy'khathi zama community ami kulaba abakhokhayo, you know, laba abakhokhayo. Sihleli community, sibe nesikhathi sibuzana amaphupho. I'll answer all your dreams. It's almost like um a community subscription. If you guys prefer ukuthi ngibe nayo ku-WhatsApp where I have like a group on WhatsApp, if you don't want to subscribe kule yeah like YouTube, let me know. Then I don't mind opening up a group ku WhatsApp where I'll have you guys in that group, and then everybody in that group will have a subscription. I think maybe that one will be better. Where there's a monthly fee. Nazi ukuthi nje during the course of the month, unlimited dream interpretations, and ngikwazi ukuthi if you need guidance whatever just to talk, ngikwazi ukuthi sihlaziye and whatever, then I don't mind doing that. But on YouTube I am going to have one where we sihlangane as a community, have private videos where kunezinto ezijulile that engizoyidikida sokwazi ukuthi siyikhulume honestly, open and honestly, because kunezinye izinto that I can't talk on YouTube or on these types of videos, because yeah, ezinye izinto ziyabiza bazalwane. So I'll do that as well. So please do support. Support chenu nje is very much appreciated. I always say I'm built to attract supportive people because I've done so much for a lot of people's careers, a lot of people's lives in general. Because I also galama in these major holidays, I try as well. Uguti, if somebody wants to be a part of this as well, Uguti, we get together and we help certain families with like food parcels. I think the biggest issue we have right now as a country, as community, is ukudla, indlala. I think this is so sad because mina ngakhula emakhaya, if umuntu kuthiwa hayi laphaya akukho into ethile, people would come through and they'd help kuyisa ukudla lapha kulowo muzi. I don't know what's happening manje, izwe liyafa, you know. So let's contribute to our fellow black people abaswele, you know, because not everybody that is hungry will come out and say they're hungry. But kunempawu that always shows when somebody is truly suffering. And I think we need to, as abantu bamoya, relieve that pain, relieve those issues where we can. So we can always partner up and do those things. Abafuna contribute sikwazi ukuthi size umphakathi size abantu. Singiphelele ke manje. Now I'm shutting up and I'm hanging up. So kube kuhle kube mhlophe emakhosini. Enkosi. Hey, Bonji.